California Association of Psychiatric Technicians is a proud organization with a long and vital history. CAPT is the organization formed by PsychTechs for PsychTechs. It's filled two important roles. CAPT serves as the professional group for all licensed psychiatric technicians. It also is the elected union representative for 7,000 state-employed psychiatric technicians and allied professionals caring for Californians with developmental disabilities and mental illnesses. Our profession has evolved over the course of a century to serve the needs of individuals, and like our profession, our professional organizations have evolved through the years. Formed in 1950, the California Society for Psychiatric Technicians was first to set a positive course to the establishment of the psychiatric technician as a key component in the modern interdisciplinary treatment team. The group played a role in the 1951 creation of the State Civil Service job classification of psychiatric technician, along with specific entry requirements. At the same time, psychiatric technicians started being utilized more frequently outside state institutions. As a result, in 1959, the state established a system for certification of psychiatric technicians working in both government facilities and in the private sector. This provided a state-administered testing process to assure competence in practice, no matter where the individual was employed. In 1970, this process was elevated to full state licensure like that required for other healthcare disciplines. In its efforts to reach out to a wider array of professionals, the California Society of Psychiatric Technicians reorganized itself into the California Association of Human Services Technologists, CAST, in the 1970s. In state employment, CAST promoted the concept of having psychiatric technicians voluntarily secure additional education in their chosen career field to enhance their skills. This eventually led state facilities to establish higher salary ranges for state-employed psychiatric technicians who complete additional college-level education. Both of these grassroots groups were headed by and run for PsychTechs with the express purpose of advancing professional care for people with mental illness and developmental disabilities.
I think it's because that we know what we need. Other organizations did not know what we need. They did not know what we were about. And I think the fact that CAPT was for PsychTechs by PsychTechs was the big issue, and I think that's why they all came together.
During the late 1970s and the early 1980s, the majority of California's psychiatric technicians still worked in state institutions. During this time, the legislature enacted collective bargaining for state employees. To implement this system, employees were divided into separate bargaining units that grouped employees with generally similar duties. In this process, state-employed psychiatric technicians were fortunate to get their own bargaining unit, instead of being in a unit that included other categories of healthcare workers. In 1981, state employees in each bargaining unit elected a single organization to represent the unit in job-related issues. The state-employed psychiatric technicians elected the AFL-CIO Communication Workers of America, rejecting the California State Employees Association, which had served psychiatric technicians before the collective bargaining era. CWA focused primarily on salaries and working conditions in state government. As a result, little progress, if any, was made on professional issues for the overall ranks of psychiatric technicians. Many began to sense psychiatric technicians drifting into a lower status compared to other disciplines represented by CWA. This dissatisfaction led state-employed psychiatric technicians to form their own independent organization in 1985, the California Association of Psychiatric Technicians, CAPT. In 1986, psychiatric technicians voted CWA out in favor of CAPT, and a few years later fought off a takeover attempt by CWA. CAPT remains the strong and proudly independent union representing state-employed psychiatric technicians and allied level of care professionals.
It was founded to be rid of or to decertify a corrupt, do-nothing, top-heavy union. CAPT was an honest, activist, streamlined, and independent employee association. It was exactly the right organization for PsychTechs 25 years ago, and it appears as though it remains to be the same today.
Through the years, the dedicated members and staff of CAPT had made major strides in advancing and protecting our profession, as well as representing those of us working in state facilities. Professional status and scope of practice, continuing education, a history of major pay increases, pension protection and enhancements, legislative and regulatory advocacy, a legacy of solid local and legal representation, establishment of the Psychiatric Technician Assistant Classification.
CAP, the original founders, I think created a strong foundation that, one, it was going to be an open and honest union, and it was going to truly represent psych techs. And it went on the principle that we didn't need a large, highly paid staff to do it. We could do it ourselves, and we have, and we did.
We've accomplished a lot together, and the California Association of Psychiatric Technicians looks forward to another 25 years and beyond of making a difference for our profession and for the Californians who depend on it.